And yeah, dude, that's the difference. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
I don't want to do this today.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Before we even begin.
Now we're losing it. February 4th episode. Done.
Yeah, we're done for the year, guys.
We're done for the year.
We'll be back. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm Mitty80.
I'm Chief.
And we are the ADHDads. The real ones, the good ones, the best ones.
Yes.
Yeah. We
Hell
are here, keeping consistent on our schedule. We just got to keep bringing that up because, you know.
This is good though. I will say the less frequent but more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's right up our alley because I
Feels
feel a lot
like
of people.
You definitely get that dopamine rush from just being like, you know.
Well, to know that, you know, because we released, you know, last weekend, our last episode. And so then now we know, like, we're good here for the week. And then next, it's just nice having that extra time because trying to slam it all in 1 week.
See, I think it's going to be really nice in the summer when we are hanging out like every week.
Yeah.
And then we can
It'll be a lot easier.
The whole rest of the year done in a couple months.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Not that, you know, that's the plan or nothing. But, you know, if we record an episode 2 weeks in a row, we're done for the month, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Up, you know, so I think that's cool, too. Like, because then there's, like, it's not that pressure of, like, oh, shoot, we have to figure it out last minute, you know? Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice to add it into the routine of things.
For sure. But how you been, man?
You know, not too bad. Not too bad.
I feel you've put about 150 hours into fucking Kingdom Come 2.
No. We're only, as of the recording of this episode, I think we are now 42 hours into the game, and I think we just started the 7th story mission. So, like, that's a full week's job.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm only...
Because, see, I already work the 45 hours a week, and then on top of that, you know, I give my buddy here a call, or, hey, what are you doing? You want to watch something? And all of a sudden I get the notification, beep-boo. Hey, guys, Midi-80's live, playing Kingdom Come again. And you're like, you son of a bitch.
Dude, it's fun, though. And, you know, looking at it, it feels like I haven't done anything in that 40 hours, but realistically looking at it, like, my stats are really high, like... I'm leveling my character up kind of thing, you know, picking a lot of flowers.
Yes, you've put a lot of time in.
The sword play, like, because
That's what I'm telling you.
You start, like, with nothing, though, is what I'm saying. Like, you're terrible. You can't even wield a sword. And then, like, as you level up, and then, like, it's cool to see his, like, speech level up from talking to people, reading books and stuff. But, like,
you start from a baby?
Well, no, so...
What do you mean you learn how to talk?
You learn how to read. I mean, it's medieval times. Not everybody knows how to read. You know,
you have to learn how to read.
Yeah, you can't just pick up a book and read it. Like, you got to, like, go through and, like. But I think
you were the poor folk.
I actually think in this one, like, you can read, because I know in the last one you couldn't read, and you, like, actually had to learn, like, level up to learn to read. But that's like insane. This one, like, you can read a book, but if you haven't reached, like, a certain skill level, you can't read certain books because, like, you're not at a skill level to read that book. You know, so, like, it's one of those. It's pretty cool though, dude. It's But like I said, like, I feel like I haven't done a lot, but I've done a lot in the sense of we've done a lot of the miscellaneous, like, trophies and things like that. So it's just going to be like a cruise to the end of the, you know, end of the game.
Sure, yeah.
As long as we don't, you know, miss anything.
Well, and you're doing one of those weird challenge things again. So, like, you can't kill an animal. Yeah,
so that's one of the trophies. The trophy's called Lent, and you can't kill an animal or eat meat. So you get attacked by wolves and stuff. Well, you can't just pull your sword out. You can punch them, and then they end up running away after you hit them enough times. Do
you guys have, like, a fasting thing like that?
No. Well, I mean, like, Passover.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Passover. Yeah. It's not like a fasting thing, but you cut out certain.
Yeah.
You know, things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, because I was sitting there, you said Lent. This just shows how much I grew up in the church and how much I was a follower. But you said Lent, and I couldn't remember if that was Jewish or Christianity.
No, that's definitely Christian.
And then I thought of all the fish fries and stuff. Oh, no, that's it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Lent. Isn't that where you, like, give up? Is it you can't eat fish or something for, like, 40 days?
No, you can't eat.
It's like you can't.
I thought you couldn't eat meat. Maybe it's meat. That's why it's fish.
Maybe it's meat, like, but then isn't it also, like, they choose to give up something? Like, they're... Yeah. Is something like they take, like, their one thing that they're like, wow... I think I can't live without this in my life right now. Like,
well, it's really sad.
I'd be like, I'll give up video
I should
games
probably
for 40
know
days.
this. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm genuinely
And
asking.
I don't know if is it 40 days?
I think it's 40 days. I want to say it
it's
is
from
40
Ash.
days.
Isn't like Ash Wednesday to Easter?
Like Ash Ketchum?
No, it's different thing. Dude, I saw this thing. It's funny you said Ash Ketchum because there was a TikTok that showed. They're like, I think we just got a glimpse into a little bit more about Ash Ketchum's life. Just so you know, he's part Saiyan.
I did see that.
And then he goes through the whole
hair.
thing. He's like, "Yep, short, spiky hair that never changes."
All he talks about is fighting and training.
And then incredibly strong. And he showed him like holding like one of this like
the 10,000-pound Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like a Universal Stone-ish Pokemon. I don't know. It's way later than the gens I know. And yeah, he's like, this thing weighs 2,242 pounds for this thing. He's like, and this bitch is just holding it in his hand.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, and I've seen other people do that too, where like they try to do the workout.
Yeah,
like try to
Pidgeotto
hold,
on the arm or whatever.
Try to carry his starting 6 or whatever, and so they're like, and he would like makes the weight, so like he'll grab, like he can get a sandbag that's like 40 pounds or
like
kilos
the one is what's it called? It's Pig Night, I think it is, and like it shows is like 250 something pounds, and he's holding it with two hands, like hugging it, and
just on
like,
his arm.
They're just like fail, or like they do the Pidgeotto on the arm, and it's like. And they try to hold the weight up like this.
But it's funny to go back because, like, I think they're in kilograms. So of course, we're we don't. It's not standard. So we see 14 kilos. We're like
America.
It's a kilogram. I don't know. Whatever. And then you don't think about it. And then you look at it later on. You're like, oh, that's like 30 pounds.
80 kilos. Oh, that's nothing.
It's
it's something.
What is that? 80 pounds. And you're like, oh no, you got double 2.2. And you're like, that's a human man.
That's yeah, but no, nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
just been grinding the stream. Really cool. My latest
really missed
video on YouTube. Guys, check out. Peep the new shirt. It's a Valentine's Day gift. We got new merch.
Nice
new merch, MIDI 80 merch.
Hell yeah.
My wife got it for me. But yeah, my newest video has almost like 100 views in like 2 days. I'm super pumped about that. I don't know. Like when I see stuff like that, I get really excited. You
should.
Because I would say like my videos average, I don't know, like anywhere between 20 and 30 views, which is like, I'm okay with that. You're slowly like just building an audience. Like, and then it's cool. Like when you try something new and you see like, oh, wow, like hold up. Like that worked.
That
brought some more people in.
So then how can we?
Yep. How do we keep building on that? Right? Because we don't want to get stagnant to where it drops down again. We just got to keep
plateau
clickbaiting people in, and I think that's a big thing. It's true though.
You get the like guy fucks whatever up, and then you're like, then it goes in and it's a completely different meaning of everything. Those videos are always funny.
Yeah, but no, nothing too crazy, just trying to stick to like my workout routine. My goal is to, like I said, get down to 140. I want to do that before we go on vacation. The lowest I got was like 147, but I'm kind of weighing around like 149, 150 still. Kind of like right there sitting, so like 10 pounds by April, which is very doable.
Yeah, it's 2 shits.
I mean, you got to think.
2 shits and water for 3 days.
Yeah, but like 10 pounds for me, that's like a 15th of my body weight, right? It's more for me than it is for you.
No, it's not.
It is though.
A 15th?
Because
you're just saying 10 as the number, right?
Yeah, like 10 pounds.
Well,
so like 10 pounds for you would be, I don't know, what do you weigh? Like
I'm like a ripe.
Are you like what are you like 6'4", 260?
You think I'm twice the size of you?
6'4", 260 of solid steel and sex appeal, baby. Is that what we're weighing in at?
That's what I tell myself. Yeah.
Makes me feel good. Wasn't that like you were comparing yourself to Reacher, and you're like, dude, we're the same height.
Well, we are. We're 6'3", yeah, but it's the our scale broke. I was trying to weigh myself today, and then I got to the gym, and I was gonna weigh myself there, and of course the guy's like, "Oh, it's broken." I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know how much I weigh right now," because we were talking about this last time. I'm around 200 to answer the question, but
that's a 20th of your,
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. A 20th and
I get what you got what you meant. Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
I didn't mean to
but we were talking last week on the last episode. We talked about what did you change in the last week 2 weeks.
What did I change?
What did you change? Remember, you had to work on changing something.
We had to work on not changing something, but doing something new, right? I think that's what it was. It was more like make a change or like try something new, do something new, whether it be a new recipe.
I'll have to watch it again because I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure it was just like try something new, not necessarily change. But here, why don't you go first?
Either way.
No,
I asked you. That's why you gotta go. That's right. You're not ready.
Do you think I prepare for these?
Well, why do you think I brought it up? Of course, I want to talk about myself. If you don't know, that's what ADHD people do. We just do it less obvious. We'll just throw the seed, and then we want you to ask because we want to talk about ourselves. We don't really care about what other people are saying.
Really,
I mean, I care about what you're saying, but if I ever do that to somebody else, if I ask you questions, I don't really care. Kind of, to an extent, unless you're in my circle. But, let's see, what did I do? So, I wanted to narrow in the diet a little bit more. And obviously, this is always a...
See, Boots was telling me... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, change the story, but he was telling me, it was funny because I was talking to him on Monday because we went, Brian did that sip and paint thing over at the brewery again. And so we went, and I'm sitting there having a few beers, and it was just like me and Boots, and then my kids, and then like one family, one guy and his kid, and then like another group, and then everyone else was painting. And we were literally the life of the brewery. Like we were like... I feel like we were really loud and like just laughing, having a good time. And I was telling Boots though, I was just like, yeah, dude, like my goal is 10 pounds by April. He's like, oh, that's easy, man. You just cut out these. And I'm like, no, but that's the thing. We got to leave room.
Well, yeah.
We got to leave room in the calorie count for the beers. Like I want to have a couple beers,
Mm-hmm.
And, but I was like, yes, you're right. Like that is easy.
It's way easy.
I've stopped drinking beer for like 2 weeks and I lost, I think like 6 or 7 pounds. I'm
like,
that sucks. But
well, I mean, and it makes sense. I mean, it's only because I'm not saying it's sedentary, but like, yes, you work out, but like, if you were to just up that, you could keep that. It's just you're not burning enough.
Well, the problem it's the consistency with the workouts too. It's like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you had a consistent thing, then it's like, fuck that. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
And it's not like I'm drinking, like a whole case a week kind of thing. I'm going through, I'll have a beer or two a night kind of thing. But, or like if it's like a social event, maybe 3 or 4, like depending on what's going on, right? Like trivia, I'll have like 3 of them while we sit and play trivia or,
well, in relation to, excuse me.
When we do the podcast, I have a couple. And
well, in relation to me, like we just talked about weight distribution, like me just being a bigger guy, like you say 2 to 3, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, for me it's like 3 to 4, and it's about the same because like I know like where I want to be, and if I feel that little tipsy or I feel going over that limit, then I stop. I just start pounding water.
Yep.
So like I've gotten really responsible with it, except for this last Friday, because I wanted to hang out with you, but you were playing your game. So then
I'm trying to get internet famous. Consistency.
So then I just spoke to my other friends who are online, and we jumped in. And
Wait, you have other friends?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started watching Expanse. I think I talked to you about that. It's like the best way to explain it is Game of Thrones in space. It's got a lot of different parts to it, and there's like a whole kind of solar system type environment with people and organizations. So there's Earth, there's Mars, there's what they call the Belters. So anybody who was born working in space, because they started to capture ice and everything to like get water, and then there's certain bases. There's a base on the moon.
This is like a cartoon? I mean, obviously it's not. No, it's real life.
Yeah, live action.
Real life
so
people.
Then, so they'll have there's a base on moon, and a lot of it is like hauling ice to the moon so that you have water while you're living up there and stuff, and everything's really it's really advanced. But it's just how everybody gets along. Like Mars is being that peaceful planet. They have a great military, but it's a peaceful planet where they're trying to get it to be Earth. So they're trying to they have the dreams of like this new planet, trying to terraform it to bring peace to everybody. Whereas like I think I just saw this episode where I've already seen it, but I forgot about it. But the guy had said, the dream of Mars is that they took a dead planet trying to bring life to it. And the problem with Earthers or Earth people is that they had a beautiful planet, but due to war and everything, all they could look towards was towards the stars and want to leave it. And so it's how they all get along. And then the Belters. I mean, there's a lot of shit that goes on in space that like manufacturing and stuff that the Belters, they're born in space.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you just have also like physical differences too. So everybody like you can't bring a Belter to Earth because the gravity would kill them.
Oh, okay.
And and Mars is 1/3 gravity. So you could, they're weaker, like just as human as a species, but there are people that you find that are from Earth, but they somehow made it to Mars, and they think, like people think they're Martian, but they're like the toughest in the military, but only because they were born Earth and got their life and everything there, and then they went to live there, and it doesn't degrade, blah, blah, blah. It's hypertrophy, or yeah, I think so. I think that's what it is. I don't know, but anyway, good show. Really good. It's very political kind of thing.
And what's that on?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Sponsor.
But anyway, so we started it again, and we got I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in. So we watched it, got to all of a sudden we watched 5-6 episodes. And they're like 45 minutes to an hour a piece. And so next thing you know, it's like midnight, and I'm like, I'm drunk. Because I was just like, had a really hard week. Had a new system, training, all this shit, so it's just super long. I'm like, fuck that. So I just had a whole pile of cans, and I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. So look at all these things I drank. I'm like, I'm just going to go to bed, sleep this off. I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. I'm not drinking tomorrow. Doing this whole thing. And then as I'm getting off, another buddy, Chappie, jumps in, and he's like, hey, Boots, you want to watch a movie? And he's like, Jake, you're in too? I'm like, nah, that's fine, man. I'm gonna head to bed. And he goes, well, Joe, what do you think? He's like, absolutely. He was hammered. And he goes, Dark Knight?
Who, Joe? No.
Yeah, and he goes, Dark Knight. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Because I didn't hear from you, I didn't hear from him, and I didn't know anybody was online, I was gonna watch The Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I just haven't seen it in a while, it's great. Sure enough, that's the one fucking movie he picks. I go, all right.
Dude, you know Boots texted Chappie to be like, hey, no, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, that's crazy. Out of all the movies in the world.
All the movies you could have picked to watch, he picks the movie.
The one that you were just talking about. It's like you willed it into the universe.
I know. And so then I'm like, well, all right. So I grabbed 3 more beers, and we started watching, and I was like, I'm fucked tomorrow. This is gonna be horrible.
It's funny because
I don't want to be hungover anymore.
But
it's kind of the
I don't either. But I've definitely been in that situation where you're just like, there's no getting out of this. I'm gonna enjoy it now. Like, fuck it. I'll grab another beer. It's that's a future me problem.
In ADHD people too, we self-medicate, right? I mean, a lot of people can be on your Adderalls and your whatever
Ritalin,
dextromethamphetamine, whatever the things are for it, but those are bad for you, like really bad for you. They can harden your arteries and shit like that, and it's terrible. But stimulants work for us. But at the same time, we get a dopamine release from beer, which is a depressant, or alcohol is. But it puts us in this zone that you're like, hell yeah. Like that's why if I showed up and you're like, let's shotgun a beer, let's rip some shots, it's like, I mean, it's really early. You try to come at it like an adult.
I don't want to. I gotta do.
And then but later on, you're like, dude, let's do a shot. And you're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. You just don't even. It's just and you're inebriated, whatever. But it just you want to keep that feeling going. You feel great. You want to keep going. It's bad for you, so you're trying to do other. So long story short, I've been trying to cut out this, except for Friday night. That was terrible. But also for the last 2 weeks now, I'd make sure I took my multivitamin, magnesium, creatine, protein shake every day. Every day, Monday through Friday, for the last 2 weeks. Very consistent. It's just 1 cup of water, a cup and a half of water, 1 cup of frozen fruit, and then all of my supplements. That's it. And I did it every single day, and I've noticed a little bit of, maybe I don't know if necessarily weight's going out, but leaning out a little bit, especially in this is getting a little thinner, because this is
dad bod. This is where I want it gone.
Well, I got fucking rabbit legs. These things are
skinny.
They're skinny as shit. They're so scrawny, and so are my arms and stuff. But my belly is a problem.
Dude, whenever I do that, I'm like, dude, Brienne, this is where I need to lose it. It's the dad bod,
It's
know?
just,
and then
it's
she's
already
just like, that's just skin. And I'm like, no, dude.
No,
Like, and she's like, she always makes the comment too. She's like
skin, like, because you do this measurement on certified
like
trainers.
a pinch test.
It's a pinch test, but you're supposed to get like this much.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
you're not supposed to get.
Well, so they have the
chunk.
calipers. So we do that for wrestling every year because it tells, like
Body
the parents
fat.
and the kids like what their body fat is and what a healthy weight is. And the reason
Yeah.
they do that is because you have kids who were cutting so much weight, they were doing it improperly, and then kids ended up dying and stuff because they were cutting weight the wrong way. They weren't. So now they have like weight plans where it's like, hey, you can, you know, you weigh this much, you can get down to this much and still be at a healthy body fat. And this is how much you'd have to lose from the weight you weighed.
Usually,
today.
like
It's
sub
it's like
10
one.
is not.
What is it? So I was one for my pinch test. I cut down to 133, and I had to cut. I cut down to 128 because that's as low like as I could get at the time for 140.
Sure.
And so I cut 12 pounds to make it. They pinched, and with the pinch test, I was able to get down to 125 or 124.9, something like that in college, and be at like a healthy body fat. I could only lose 3 pounds.
Yeah.
And like, so if you weigh in, it was like, okay, you can weigh like 129 and you can only lose, you know, then by the end of the week, you could be like 128.1. You can only lose X percent, you know, so like you couldn't even get down right away.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are like, I want to be 5% body fat. You're like, no, you don't. Because like a lot of that, it is incredibly unhealthy. And you really only see that in like 300. Like that's what a lot of those guys are like at 5-6%. You can be like 10% body fat, 12%, and you'll still look good. Like it's not like people get so consumed on that.
Oh yeah.
Like even people in 15 to 20. I mean, I think if you go off the way I just look now, I think I'm like 24.
The way,
so it's nothing like.
And the way that they do it too is they don't just pinch one area, right? So they'll come and they go tight areas too. Like they'll grab tricep. They go like tricep right back here. They do the scapula. They pinch scapula. They pinch your folds on the side.
Yep.
And then there is one in the middle. One like on the, I want to say on like the back. They try to get, but they try to get like a tighter area, right? Because that's going to give more give. And then it gives you a measurement, and then they do it. They'll pinch it like 3 or 4 times, and then they take the average of what the numbers they got was. And then, you know, based on all their calculations, they can be like, okay, this is your body fat, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I had to learn that for when I got certified, and it's already been almost a year and a half, almost 2 years. And so it's every 2 years you get a re-up. So I was talking to Mel, and I'm like, well, the package I bought, I get to re-up. So I think in August this year, I gotta recertify.
You know, I think it's like crazy, like thinking about that, like
even though I don't practice it's just.
So I don't. Yeah.
It's just knowledge.
I don't like I don't have any like certifications or stuff like that, but like thinking about those little certifications, it's crazy to think about like how much stuff I know that like I'm not like certified for, or like could go and like do just based on like my knowledge today. That I'm just like, you know, if I wanted to, I could go pursue this and easily have this today. You know?
Well, and most of it is too. A lot of it's like the guidelines for it. So like it's very like legally. There's a lot of legal tape too. So when you say, hey, you know, like if you want to just work out with me, great. Like I can tell you what I do and stuff like that, but I can't, without like an assessment first, I actually can't tell you what to work out. Like I can print out a workout and just kind of what this kind of generally does. And then if you choose to do it, you choose to do it. Like I can't tell you what to do. I can't make any dietary restrictions for you. There's a lot of legal lines that's very specific. And so you have to know that. I think the first like 3 chapters in both nutrition, because I'm taking the nutritional one right now to be a nutritionist. And yeah, like the first 3 chapters of the book is just like what you can and cannot say legally. So like, and even if I have like a questionnaire, it's like 15 questions. If you answer no to any of them, I can't. You have to go to a doctor first to get permission to.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, you know. Yeah. And so, but then if you're talking about like what you do at the gym, like we're both athletes and we both have been in a gym. We're not strangers to that.
No.
But at the same time, it can be different. Like you have to, you know, especially if you think about everybody you could train, you know, like an old lady. Like how would you she just wants to build a little bit more strength. Like, how do you look at her? Like, you're not going to tell her to fucking
Get on the
start
bench.
repping. Like, all right, sit down. Shut up. Quit whining. You're fine. Like, yeah, you can't do that.
He's like, my fingers hurt. Your fingers hurt? Huh?
Yeah.
Now your back's going to hurt. You just
Yeah.
pulled landscaping duty.
Actually, that's a great cross-training workout. Let's get outside. Yeah.
What is that? Is that what Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. There's a second one coming.
I know.
I'm so excited.
I'm a little nervous. I think it'll be
care.
fine.
I don't
think
care.
It'll be fine. I'm gonna watch it.
It could suck donkey nuts,
And I'm
and I
still gonna
will
watch it,
still
yeah.
watch it. I'll still laugh. I'm gonna get every reference there is because I can damn near recite that entire.
You know what
movie.
movie I thought was really? We're getting way off topic, but one movie I thought was really hilarious that like I'd only seen a preview for and decided to watch, and this was like maybe 2 years ago. It was God, what is the name of it? It has Nicolas Cage, where Nicolas Cage is playing Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
and Pedro Pascal.
It's
What's the name of it? It's like
it's gonna bother me so
it's a
much.
ridiculous title too. It's like
it's stupid because I have everything everywhere all at once is always in my brain. Just anytime a movie comes up, I'm like, that's not what it is. I know that movie. It's not what it is. It's
not extraordinary.
no,
It's,
I think like
talent, right? Massive talent. Something
yes.
of extraordinary.
We're gonna get this on camera right now.
Massive talent.
No,
oh my god, it's a ridiculous title.
No, that you're right. In massive talent, like I know that's part of it.
Yeah. It's like something along the lines of like.
I'm so mad.
I don't want to look it up either. We're not gonna look it up. But anyways, oh my god, something of massive talent. It's like something along the lines of, I have no, I can't even.
I'm so mad right now.
Anyways,
Boots would be so disappointed.
Yeah, right. But anyways, no, I watched that movie. That movie is hilarious. I love that movie. Big Nick Cage fan.
Yeah, but no, that one's really funny. We watched that. Boots and I watched that one too because he kept telling me to watch that over and over again. And I'm like, I don't know.
Like the extraordinary weight of massive talent or something. It's something like that.
It's very close.
It's. I know it's like it's like on the tip of my tongue. Oh. Anyways, let's forget about it. It's gonna come to us.
We're not gonna forget about it. It's gonna be right here.
But no, back to what we've been doing new. So this week we started
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
There it is.
Yes. You saw it. You were here.
Yes.
You were here.
Yes. Dude,
the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I told you it was something along
God,
those
that's
lines.
fucking.
But anyways, yes, that movie's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, guys, go watch it. It's a great watch.
Pedro Pascal is I'm gonna say he turned me on to himself. Yeah, like just I immediately after that movie I went and watched everything he's in and like, I mean I've already seen most of the stuff he was in, but like I watched a lot of his interviews and his like Wired interviews and the Vanity Fair ones and the Lie Detector
SNL.
one. He did Hot Ones and like all that shit. He just seems like a party. He seems like a genuinely awesome guy to hang out with.
Yeah,
so that'd be really cool.
But yeah, anyways, if you guys haven't seen that, check it out. Anyways, back to what I've been doing new. So, what did we do new this week? I can't say it's anything like super crazy or anything, but that wasn't the goal. It wasn't to go out and reinvent the wheel, right? It was just do something new. I made sure so every night I sit down with Ollie about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and me and him have started watching Dragon Ball. Like the original.
Oh, fuck.
I remember you said you were watching Dragon Ball Z with your kids. So I was like, you know what? Like, Ollie knows of these characters. You've seen me play the games. I was like, let's sit down and actually, like, watch it. So we started watching Dragon Ball. So we make time every night to make sure we have.
Oh, you do it every day?
Every day. So we have 30. So that's. I don't know if you're doing it every day or you're, like, binging.
No, we kind of
thing.
Well, we just do, like. If it's like obviously not Tuesdays, but like if it's a Wednesday night, I always tell you I try to do like an offline day.
Yep.
So like I just kind of stay off there, and then it's just kind of a hangout. But yeah, we'll try to rep 2.5 hours of it.
Yeah. So we're doing max of 2 episodes a day. I think we did 3 one day.
Well, this also explains why, like when I told you where we're at, because we just got to Zarbon, Frieza, and Dodoria are killing Nameks. And Gohan and Krillin are watching this. And you were like, dude, you're on Namek? There's no way. You're watching Kai. And I was like, I'm never going to watch Kai. I don't want to. I get the purpose of it, but I'm
Yeah,
not
it
gonna.
cuts
That
out
doesn't
all
give
the
that doesn't give you any of it.
No.
But I'm like, no, dude, we're like episode 40. I just looked at it last night. We're 46 is the episode, and you're like, how the fuck? I'm like, well, they're 22 minutes, and then we skip all credits and all the other.
Oh
shit.
yeah, see, no, I make sure
then it's
we
like-
watch the intro every time because Ollie and Mavis will sing and dance to it. You know.
Yeah,
Find
no.
my Dragon Balls.
Well, see, yeah. So like you have like those ones. Otherwise,
But like
there's-
like I said, we're doing old school. Like so, this
Yeah.
is Goku's a kid. This is like
Exactly.
before Dragon Ball Z came out. But anyway, so yeah, I make sure that we set aside time every night and we'll watch 1 or 2 episodes. I think it was really funny. It was really funny because he got to experience kind of our life as kids. We hit a point the other night and Goku saw the full moon for the first time, and they just explained how he's just like, yeah, like. My grandfather was killed by this like monster that just appeared on a full moon. He always told me never look at the full moon. And then they're in this like Emperor Pilaf has him. He's like, you're gonna die in the morning. Da 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 da. You know, it's kind of dark when you think about it, but it's like, whoa,
dude, it is.
And it's very like not. I wouldn't say like not for kids, but it's definitely like if you're a strict parent, I would not say sit down.
I
And
mean,
watch
okay,
this.
so hang on, time out 1 sec for this. So I was talking to Mel about this too, and I think about it like. Because I think about how much more, like, remember how our parents would let us run outside, run down the block, stay out till dark, whatever it was, we just got into everything, And I think about that now, and I was like, I would never let my kid do that.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's also, that's protecting them more nowadays. Like,
Yes.
people are like, oh, well, that guy can't talk about killing things. You can't talk about killing things. I'm like, I played video. What happens in Mario when I was 5 on Super Mario and you fall down the hole?
You die.
You die.
Yeah.
Like, it's not,
it's-
it's nothing like you can, in when kids talk like that,
It's
they're like, well, we don't want them talking about dying. And I'm like, that's
Yes.
not the same context.
No, it's a fine line to dance with, right? Because
Yeah.
even when we were kids, right? I don't know, what was I, like 8 years old watching Austin Powers with
Yeah. Dude, I watch Austin
with
Powers
my-
all the time.
So like that's like watching movies like that and watching different things that like you're just like you're laughing, but then it's like that awkward like you're looking at your parents like are they laughing kind of thing, and it's I think we revert back to like how we felt like as kids watching with our parents, like, oh, that was funny, but oh wait, we're not supposed to say
Dude,
that
I watched
kinda
Dumb
thing.
and Dumber and Ace Ventura and stuff at 5
No,
years
that's
old.
what I'm saying. We were kids, yeah. We watched.
I was
videos.
like, well,
And
it's
nowadays
Arya's
it's
age
like-
and Ollie's age.
It's like, yeah, my kid turns something on YouTube. It's like, turn it off. Nope.
Yeah,
wait,
no,
we're
like
not watching
anytime
that.
it's anything, I'm like, this is just insane.
Yeah,
but
I was
for
thinking
me,
about that too.
well, and for me, I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. I'm gonna let them watch it. They just had the fight where they had one of it. Oh, with
Was it
Tien
Vegeta
when he's fighting Nappa.
and his arm gets cut off.
Yeah, his arm just gets cut off, and it's like blood and all the shit. And I'm like, he's cut his hand off, And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna ride with it. We're just gonna see.
You know what's
Oh.
it's really funny. I'm excited to see what Ollie thinks of the development because at this time in Dragon Ball, Yamcha's kind of a badass. Like he's actually like, minus the fact that he's afraid of girls because he's like, oh, I don't know how to talk to girls, you know. But the reason I say like not for kids, right? Because I don't want my kid walking up to someone and being like, tap tap, oh, you're a boy,
Well, okay.
things like that. And,
Well,
and-
anytime there's a balloon
Yeah,
on the
right.
tits or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, hey.
yeah, right.
He always looks at me and laughs. I'm like,
But
that's why I love it too.
It's whatever. It is what it is. And it goes back to me saying too, like I'd rather my kids learn the swear words from me. I'd rather them learn the phrases from me and know that hey, that's bad, versus going to school and learning it the bad way by calling his teacher it or something because it's some kid.
Yeah.
Right. So like, whatever. I don't care. Like they're time and place. But anyways, yeah, it's I would say like strict parents would not let their kids watch Dragon Ball
No,
by any
no,
means.
I
Like
mean-
but like we're watching it and it's really funny. But anyway, so he got a taste of how we were growing up because if you remember, we only had like one episode a night, Monday through Friday, and then you wouldn't see it again until Monday, and then you'd hit so far in the series and it reset because they didn't have the rights to the episodes yet, right? And we were just like, what the heck? So we were watching last night, and Goku looks at the full moon, and or not last night, the other night. We actually didn't watch last night. He was watching Captain Underpants or something, doing something with his sister, and I was like, cool, I'm going. I was hanging out with my older brother online, and so I was just like, all right. But he turns into the great ape, smashes through, starts breaking Emperor Pilaf's castle, and then all of a sudden, will Goku be able to turn back to his normal form? And Ollie's like, wait, what? What? Hang on. And he's like, can we watch? I'm like, nope. It is bedtime. And like, dude, he was so livid.
Oh yeah.
And then it was funny because Brian's like, no, you don't act like that. This is a special treat. I'm like, no, no, act like that, because I was the same way. Like, you gotta be kidding me, right? So it's funny. I like leaving them on little cliffhangers, and but yeah, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, that's kind of something we've been doing. We've been watching.
But see, well,
like every night we'll watch an episode or two.
it's funny though that you say that, like you hold it on him, because like I'll be there. I think it was one of the nights last week. Arya passes out immediately. She doesn't give a shit for Dragon Ball Z, but Jackson just sits there and he just like, you could see him just like a deer, just watches. And one of the nights Mel's like, last one, and she's all taking care of Declan, and so he's in my bed, and we'll get to it, and then all of a sudden he's like, he looks at me and it's like playing the credits, and you're like, all right, I'll keep playing it, but if that door opens, you better pretend like you're fucking sleeping. And I go, practice right now. Door opens, what do you do? And you see him just go. And he like perfectly did it. I go, you will do that every time. And then sure enough, like, he goes, but I don't know when the door's going to open. I go, we don't know either, but you got to react. And he's like, all right. And so we watched like another 4 episodes, because they're on. It was like 10:30 at night, 11. And he's staying up and, whatever, schedules, all that stuff. Yeah, kids. But, yeah, she like crept back in. And I was like, he's behind me. Like, I'm in my chair and he's behind over here. And so she opens and I like look at her and I'm just like hoping he did his job. And then she's like, hey, how much longer do you have? And I go, like I didn't like look at him. It's just like, this is the last. I'm just finishing this up and then I'll probably call it here in a little bit. And I go, why are they, and I look back and Jackson's just like sleeping. And she goes, well, just turn it down or something so you don't wake up. I'm like, you got it. And they go out, and he like, as soon as the door shut, he goes, looks at me, and I go, dude, my man. And then we watched another 2 episodes.
That's awesome.
We went till midnight that night.
But yeah,
he was tired, but same thing though. But it gets me though. I'm like, all right, I know there's 271 of these. Let's go. Let's go another one.
So that's the other thing. I was looking it up. There's 159 episodes of Dragon Ball.
73 or something.
And I'm just like, geez, Ollie. I'm like, if we're only watching 1 or 2 a night, and I started doing the math. I'm like, okay, by June we'll be da 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 da.
Whoa,
but I'm excited to see.
That's so much time.
But it is, right? But I mean, like, we have days like this, but the other thing too is like Mavis is watching it too, and my new favorite thing is she'll walk in the room and be like, ha me, ha me, ha, and I have a video of her doing it, and she's got like, it's just the cutest little voice, the ha, and then she runs away, right?
It actually sounds like Goku.
Yeah, it sounds like she's a Japanese like voice actor.
Absolutely,
it's funny. But no, she's even kind of getting into it. Like, she's leaning on the table like, I don't like that. That's a bad guy. And I'm like, yep, that's a bad guy. And it's really funny. It's cool. And the only one like not really watching is Brienne. She's on her phone or playing Sims or whatever.
Like,
but that's fine. Whatever. The kids are occupied. I'm hanging out with them. You do your thing. And it's.
There are many times I look at Mom, I'm like, I wish you would just like something I like. I just tell her that, like, I mean, we have many things, yes, but like, it's the things I really like.
Yes.
Like, like, I think Stardew Valley is probably the only thing that she actually took it and ran with it. That's it. Otherwise, like, I'm like, there are so many different animes on so many different kinds of things.
Speaking of that, Brienne started watching Kaiju number 8. We're on episode 6.
There you go.
So there's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of like, well, hang on. And I was falling asleep. I fell asleep at the end of 5, and I'm like, let's just pause it because I want to rewatch it too.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, and she's like, all right, just turn it off. And like was like, but like she's actually really liking it. So
well, and I don't know. I think I want to say I had her watch 1, and then we watched some show, and I feel like she really didn't mind it, but then it just never came up again, and then I forgot what it was. But like I said, I mean, the whole like living in it, like isekais, I feel she would really like.
Yeah, I think some are okay.
I'm just saying, like just going to another world. Well, I mean, I only like certain ones too. So
right.
But I try to get her to like Food Wars.
Oh, yep.
I think it was probably that one. Like, I sat down with her, or no, she didn't like it because I sat down. We watched. Boots is like, I think she would like it. And if you guys like to cook, I know you like to cook. It's great for that. And Mel wants to learn. I was like, he's like, you can follow these recipes and they'll work. And I'm like, cool. All right, let's put it on. And It's the first fucking episode. The lady comes in, tells this guy to get out of his restaurant. And he's like, they trashed the whole fucking thing. And he made a promise that he could serve anything that any customer would ask. And the day that comes that he can't, he'll close up shop. So she trashes his place, throws out all the meat and stuff, then shows up the next day and goes, hey, are you open? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And it's all torn up. And she goes, good. I'd like a nice meat dinner. But she damaged all the shit. And he goes, okay. And so then he had some bacon, and he made some like potato wrapped in bacon with all the onions and all the stuff, and he cooked it a certain way, and it came out looking exactly like a prime rib. And he slices her a piece of it. He's like, well, this isn't meat. And he's like, well, you just try it. And she tries it, and I'm like, and so far we're like right in there. She takes it and goes, oh, and like she's naked. The girl just goes naked. She's like in heaven. She's basically orgasming because of how good this is. Then the other guy, her henchmen, try it, and they're naked, and they're just all this. And I'm like, all right, touche, Joe, touche, man, because I know he fucking knew. Like I knew he knew it. And so then she goes, what is this? This is why you watch all this? Yeah, I see why you love it so much.
Maybe Joe did that so that we can't replace him. Right, so he's like, "You have to watch it with me now."
It was awesome. Ridiculous.
Good for you.
But then she's just like, all anime is that. But all anime, like even Dragon Ball, they like Bulma. Like think of how many times she flashes and stuff. And
dude, she flashed Master Roshi in like episode 3 or 4.
There is that fan service
she's just
that they
sitting there
do.
like, I want the Dragon Ball. I want the Dragon Ball.
Well, there's that fan service to it, and so I'm like, yes, okay. So basically, all anime are gonna have smoking hot chicks. And their boobs are big and bounce. That's just what what all of them have. And I'm like, but if you could just get past that, and just understand that that's going to happen, there's some pretty good stories. So I just wish you would.
Follow the thing.
I just, and maybe we'll do that tonight. Maybe that'll be something I do this week. I'm going to get her to watch a new anime.
You got to get one that's like, I don't know.
I just don't think slice of life. I just don't think she would like those.
Me and Brienne watched the live action One Piece, which made us want to watch the anime One Piece. But the live action was really good. The live action was like, I don't know if you watched it. Like I have
not seen it.
It was very good. Which brings me to my point, right? So now my view of One Piece is the live action. So now if I go back and watch the anime, now I'm going to be comparing the two, right? And obviously the live action is made after the anime, so you got to like think of like this is the OG, this is the
Yeah. Well, and there's just so much more. I mean, like, talk about, I've been not reading, but I've been listening to audiobooks, and I've been making my way through the Harry Potters because not only do I have the books, but I also bought the audiobooks too, just because I'm weird. But I've been trying to like listen to them before I go to sleep, and I wanted to get, because everybody, the books are way better. It's way different in the books. None of that happens, blah, 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 And they're kind of like, it's like, just settle down. Just settle down. They did the best of what
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Yeah. Dumbledore asked calmly.
Yeah.
Hurry!
Did you hurry? It's like basically choking up. Did you put it in there?
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Man, Jesus. All right. No, I didn't. I didn't, Dumbledore.
It says calmly.
Yeah. But, like, that's what I wanted to, like, I wanted to listen to them, so like I've been going through them, and they're pretty cool. They're done by Stephen Fry, who I do like as an actor too, and he does the voices. He does some of them really good, and so that's one thing I've been doing too is like listening to those and being like, oh okay, so there was like the section of the movie where this was only maybe 5 minutes, couple scenes. There's actually a whole chapter dedicated to this whole thing. There's a lot of shit that happens and a lot of backstory that happens too. So it's like that's fun, that's fun for me. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get an anime going.
No, I'm just like twirling like this, because I do this in my chair, and she walks over and sees my foot bouncing back and forth and puts her paw on it and just lays on top of my foot, like.
Yep.
Dog special.
Well, this is better today,
dude. So I remember we mentioned something about this earlier. I'm really excited about this. I know I keep talking about this, guys, and you know what? I'm gonna keep talking about this because I just feel like I've created life, and not outside of my children, obviously, right? But
you're pregnant?
The pepper plants, dude. My pepper plants.
Oh yeah.
So I've been growing these pepper plants. For those who don't know, if you guys haven't seen any of the other episodes, and this is your first one, I started growing these pepper plants very late in the year last year. They started sprouting out really good. Everything was going good. And then, bam, cold weather hit. A bunch of them started dying. I transferred it into like another tub. And Inside, yep. So we had something like, so we started out when they sprouted with like 40 sprouts of like pepper plants. And I was like, geez. So we took those, transferred those into soil. And I think like probably like 25, 26 of them like really like flourished. A couple of them kind of died out. Like, I don't know kind of what happens. I don't know. Maybe, it just happens, right? You get some good ones, get some duds. So then you narrow it down. And then so I got like one of those little tubs, transferred them inside because of winter. And from there, I probably have like 12 of them that have really just like blown up, right? Mm-hmm. The others kind of, you see the stalks, you see them dead. But I did hear they're perennials is what I read. So in the springtime, when I transfer them back outside I got a bigger like moving cart thing that I think I'm going to do peppers and maybe do like, I don't know, something else, maybe tomatoes. I don't want to do a vine takeover, but I don't know, maybe
inside you're saying or outside?
No, outside. It'll be an outside one, yeah. But start small.
I think
work your way into it, but
beans are really easy.
I don't like beans. Nobody in the house really likes. Well, I don't know. My kids are weird. They eat everything, but
excuse me. Cucumbers.
I do like cucumbers, but that's the thing. I don't want to do a vine. I'm afraid that a vine will just.
Oh yeah, okay, don't do that. Like, don't do pumpkins.
No, because vines spread like great. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll like take over everything, right? So I got these pepper plants growing up, and some are growing like weird. It's really cool because like I almost have like bonsai pepper plants, right? They're like growing this way to like get to the sun.
If it's kind of cool to keep producing, because peppers do take like a full season to produce. I think it's like 80 days or 60 days or something, and in hot weather really helps them go quicker. Mm-hmm. But it also does. I'm be interested to try. Well, you have sweet peppers.
Yeah, I have sweet peppers, not bell peppers.
It'd be crazy to do like jalapenos inside, just to see, because I'm sure somebody's done it, obviously. But I know like hot weather can really dictate some of those things. But like radishes, if you want some quick turnaround for the kids, it's like 30 days. Mm-hmm. From when they germinate to when you have a radish. It's crazy. And I never really liked them, but they're the easiest things for me to like get going. And when I had my garden beds, I bought like 8 different kinds. Carrots are different. If you can get it good,
get some chode carrots going.
Well, that's the thing. Like, no, that's the worst part. Like everybody you go to the grocery store, you see these fucking 14-inch,
and that's what you think you're growing. No,
ones.
You're gonna get.
No, dude, you get these little finger ones. They do not grow like you get them in the store. It's ridiculous. So,
but anyways,
sorry.
No, you're good. So we transferred them. So we had some growing. Like my daughter was playing with a ball over there and threw a ball that landed in the pepper plants and broke some of the plants, even the real big ones. I was really like kind of distraught about this, and this was probably a month ago now at this point. And I was really just kind of like, I was actually like down. I was like, it sucks because like I put it into my routine. Like we're only watering like once a week right now for the peppers. You don't want to flood them or drown them kind of thing with too much. And especially they're not out. Like the heat isn't heating up the soil. They're only getting the sunlight from right there, you know? So like, watering once a week, whatever. But it's in my routine now. Like I'm taking care of these things. I'm trying to grow them. And then she goes, bam. And then you see leaves everywhere, broken little branches. And so I was kind of upset about that. But then I went and looked at it. And one of the broken branches, I don't know how, and I showed you too. It's like surviving, like it's growing a pepper on the broken branch, and it's like thriving. It's like pretty big, and it's really cool, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, because you got little nubbins on there now.
Yeah, dude, and like
they're like little beans.
I'm pumped. Yeah, and you see them just like, like slowly just getting bigger, almost
However
there.
Big they get, we got to eat one on the podcast.
Oh, 100%. Because they came from a package of like orange, red, yellow, and green. So they're all mixed. It's like just mixed sweet peppers. So I don't know. We don't know what colors we're gonna get.
Well, they'll all be green.
Well, no, they might be orange.
Yeah, but when you choose to take them off.
No. They're all. Look, that's not how it works. No, it's not.
That's the difference in colors. Okay.
So you're saying the difference.
Think of like olives. You have green ones and you have black ones. Do you think those are two different?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
No, I know. One is less.
They're just overripe.
I like green olives better than black olives,
That's
by the
fine.
way.
But they're the same olive.
Anyways.
Sorry. All right. I'll stop talking.
So what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to get at is I'm really excited about these peppers.
I'm
They are growing. I mean, I probably got one that's like probably like almost as big as my thumb now. If you guys can't tell, like it's pretty big over there. I mean, it's
It's got a big thumb.
Ayo.
Ew.
But anyways, it made me think. Like,
that's why you're such a great.
We
wrestler.
took the seeds. That was probably seeds from only like two or three of the peppers. We just cut them open and took all the seeds out, and did the stuff. Like that's like an infinite food glitch. Is like what I was thinking, right? Like
yeah, we were talking about this
obviously,
before.
and it takes time to do it, but like. You could literally just like take it. Imagine how many strawberries you can grow from one strawberry. It's just amazing. It blows your mind.
Well, that's how people lived.
But but that's what I'm saying.
Like we didn't have grocery stores, so like if some they would gift plants or fruit and stuff, and then you could just take those home and grow them.
Yes, and I get that. But what I'm saying is, it's just crazy to like fathom. That,
but it's but because I got all excited about it too. But the thing is that it's time.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. And like at the end of the day, like I'm gonna have
like you'll do that and you'll get what
10 peppers.
Yeah,
and then it'll be
I bought 6 yesterday at Costco, and I'll be done with those by next weekend.
Yeah, so I mean that's not even like one sitting.
Yeah, but you still understand how garden.
Yes, but it's exciting. It's just
it's very
crazy.
Exciting.
It's
very
crazy
cool
to think that like that came from one seed. Like one seed is producing.
Yep.
Multiple peppers, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like on the one plant, there's like
because
4
then
peppers.
that pepper's gonna have a fuck ton of seeds.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's like an infinite pepper glitch. This is my $1 million idea, guys.
That's why
in like 30 years, I will have Mitty's pepper farm.
He'll have 40 peppers,
and I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna infuse them. I'm gonna become one of those like crazy like plant scientists. Be like, these ones are strawberry peppers, and I'm gonna like make them. We call them streppers.
Okay.
Yep, dude.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna live in your world because I'm not gonna give you the logic behind it.
All right.
But I'll give you. No, because all right, no, that's fine.
Like splice the DNA. You know what I'm saying?
You can't do that.
We're gonna do it.
You can't.
We're gonna do it.
You can't.
And like I said, first one.
Splice peppers.
First one is gonna be they're gonna be strawberry peppers, and we're gonna call them streppers.
Sounds good.
All right. And they aren't gonna grow on a stalk. They're gonna grow on a pole.
All right. Sounds.
But
good.
anyways, no, I'm just excited about the peppers, dude. I'm just it's cool.
It's very cool.
Grown life,
it's
but then
exciting.
it's crazy to think that like one seed from one pepper is creating like.
But see, I do want to keep
4 or
this
5
kind
or
of
6 peppers.
I want to keep this kind of excitement going because now that we bought a house, we have a giant fucking yard.
Yeah, I'll probably be over it next week, guys. I'm gonna throw it away.
That's all right. I'm not gonna be. So we have a giant fucking yard, and so I have my garden beds that I built. Like I literally built garden beds last fall, so that we could do it this year again and like really hammer it. But of course we moved, so now I just have these 3 giant boxes of garden beds that I'm not using, but I'm gonna put those in our new place, and then we're really actually gonna garden it, and we're gonna. I like the one side, the west side, I guess, of it is just this giant open area. Gets a lot of sun, all this stuff. There's no trees blocking anything, so that's what we're gonna do that this year and just get those out there. And then I mean it's my fucking yard. I'm just gonna.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that's exciting, man. New house, all that stuff.
Yeah, but we're gonna get into gardening and stuff, and I want to do that. I want that to be a serious thing now instead of like this little pipe dream. Then.
Yeah.
I
get it,
kids
dude.
are going to help.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, I bought a, like I said, it's a bigger one, and it's got, like, legs, and it has wheels but locks, so, like, you can stand it, so I can have it right up there, and on, like, a windy day, I can wheel it in the house or something, you know what I'm saying? And, like, because I've lost my pots out there. I had 2 pots on the table. One was growing, like, a flower. All I grew at school, and we kept that thing going. I was surprised at how long that thing lasted. I was like, what the heck, man? It just kept going.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, man, it's dead. And next thing you know, it was like, boom, 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 like 6 more flowers. I'm like, but I kept it going. I was like, yeah, all right. It's not that.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool. But, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why, like, I don't know if it's, like, my old age kicking in. But there are just certain things that, like, I never thought, like, I'd, like, do or want to do. And, like, even though it's something small, like I said, it's a tiny little box. Like, if you're looking behind me, it's like 2 of these cubes put together. That's it. Like 2 of these cubes. That's it. And, yeah, like that excites me. I don't know why. And I don't, and it's kind of cool. So.
No, that's good. Good for you, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to try them. And
yeah, dude, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. Like we're going to try it. Maybe we can use it to make some sort of, cook it up with some chicken or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just.
We gotta
pumped,
eat
man.
one raw. Just
Oh,
taste it.
100%. Yeah.
And then just make a little. Yeah, make
Maybe a little
something.
side dish, you know. I'm a little nervous because I remember when I was a kid. So we lived in the desert. I grew up, and my dad really, I don't know why, but he had a green thumb. Man, this guy could make money grow on trees. He could literally it's a Jewish thing.
Tell me
Yeah,
more.
yeah. Tell him.
Tell me more.
No, he could just make stuff grow. And so he wanted a garden in our backyard, and we didn't have a huge backyard. It wasn't crazy big, so but he went out and he bought all the blocks and notched off this L shape here, and then the grill was here, and then another L shape over there. And so he had a garden here, a garden there, and I remember we grew like cantaloupes and cherry tomatoes, and I mean we had a lot, you know, cucumbers, things like that.
I assume you get so much sun. You have a good climate.
But the problem is it's the
water.
moisture.
Yeah,
that's the big problem with it. So you're spending you're watering every day.
Yeah, that's
it's
constant.
It's
water.
crazy versus every once a week for the peppers here, or every other day, or twice a week, whatever it is. It was every day. We were watering these suckers, and I remember the first cantaloupe that we pulled off, and we were all super excited. We're like, yeah, let's go eat this thing. Da da da. Cut it in. It was the worst tasting cantaloupe I've ever had in my life. It was so bitter. It was just but I mean, you knew it was ready to go because it was how it looked. You're it's ready, and it was a smaller one. It was just kind of like a softball size cantaloupe.
But I mean, think about that. Any melon, it's basically all. We grew
watermelon too. We did watermelon for a bit.
How'd that taste?
I don't remember tasting the watermelon. I don't remember if
it's just all white.
No,
with a little red.
I remember we had watermelon, but I think the cantaloupe really just took over. I want to say the cantaloupe and the cucumbers really took over. The cucumbers weren't bad.
No.
And the cherry tomatoes, we didn't get many of them because we had worms all over them that were eating the tomatoes. So you'd go to look at them and it was hole through, hole through, hole through.
Oh.
And they found our little thing and they were just boom. Well, because we didn't spray it with pesticides.
Well, no.
You know, a whole system or nothing. But the side on the right side of the grill was my mom's flowers and bushes, and the left side was tomatoes, cucumbers, cantaloupe, watermelon, whatever we wanted to plant that year as far as food. So this was food. This was, but it was cool. I don't know. It was and it was crazy. I remember digging it, and because we had to dig down, and it was just sand, and there was no moisture in the dirt.
Nothing.
It was desert sand, and that's another thing too. That's crazy. In Vegas, the reason when it rains so hard it floods is because the layer of dirt and everything is so dry it can't absorb the water, and that's why everything floods in Vegas. It's like a desert, It's crazy to think about that, because out here, if it floods, it's because it rains so much, the ground can only absorb so much, and the rivers are and everything. But out there, it rains and it floods because it can't go into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Isn't that, I don't know. Just
look at us.
Dropping knowledge.
And just to tie those two together, there is an anime about a farming life that you could, there's a couple of them actually. You could learn about all that. It's pretty fun.
We could.
But, no, man. Those are some of the stuff I've changed, or new things, I guess. I've
new
done,
things.
And I want to keep on that. I recently, when it comes to, getting up, because I don't know, my wife catches these episodes every once in a while, but I still have a Snap membership. And I haven't gone in.
Snap always Snap Fitness,
Snap
Snap
Fitness, yeah.
Yeah, I was Snap, isn't that the government food assistant program? I was you got
oh yeah, yeah, EBT. No,
yeah, I was wait a second.
But I have this thing. I changed my alarm on my phone to this clip. I've been watching a lot of YouTube clips to try to keep motivation, and there's a lot of them out there to, just for I'm not saying it's just for guys, but guys would understand more. But it's just getting up, no excuses. It's your fucking fault where you're at. Let's move on. And so I changed my ringtone down to wake up, and I'm gonna try to get up at 5:00 every day this week. I'm gonna try it.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Cheers to that. Waking up early. I'll tell you this though.
Never been an early person.
I'll tell you this. I've never been an early person. I've always been a night owl. I get my second wind at 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm ready to
all
go.
The time.
And I'm good to go all night. And that's why overnights worked well for me. But the thing that sucks is, so a couple times this week, like 2-3 times, I tried going to bed at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Like I was just like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Even after D&D, I went to bed at like 11. What was it? 11:15. I was like, guys, I'm headed to bed. I got to get up early. Brienne works, whatever. I had the worst sleep. My sleep score on my watch was like 64. And it was like, needs attention. And I'm like, what the hell? But I go to bed at 1 or 2 in the morning. I get 6 hours of sleep. And it's like, 95 sleep score. Excellent job. Keep at it, big guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, thanks, watch. Like, I don't understand it.
That's one of those where I want to get more consistent, get 7 to 8 hours. Try to get up to 7. That's why I want 7 hours. Because mine's all over the place, too.
But I can't do any more than like
that's why
7 is like max.
The audiobooks, that's where it helps. Because it's still something that keeps this moving. And I'm listening. But then I'm finding myself that... Because that's the thing. I'm not listening to chapters. Like, I'm listening for like maybe 10 minutes. And then, I don't know. It's weird. I'll like start to drift and then I don't hear it anymore. And then I pass out. I go to sleep. And I wake up in the morning. I realize I only
do you do it with
listen
headphones or do you just have like speakerphone?
I have an iPad.
Yeah.
And so then like...
But do you have headphones or just coming out the...
It's just coming out that.
Okay.
So I have the iPad and where I lay, I just tuck it in between 2 pillows so that it's right next to me. And then I just, yeah. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been so much more helpful to sleep because, yeah, I mean, we don't like silence. So when you're trying to go to bed,
TV on, I have to have
noise. When you're trying to go to bed, but if you put this on as a story, and I've noticed it with my own kids. Like if we do a bedtime story on, we have the Calm app. If you go on there, just pick one. They're like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. They're out in like 15 on every single time.
Because there's some Tony boxes.
But if we didn't do that, if we just had even the night lights and all the other shit, they'll never go to sleep.
Yep.
They'll sit there just like that. And I'm like, hey man, it's working for me. So yeah, a little bit early bedtimes. Obviously not Tuesday, but speaking of Tuesdays, let's jump into that. Our first session of the campaign. Give me your honest feedback right here on live.
Sucked ass. I'm probably not coming back.
Well, that's fine. I'll kill you the next round. That's fine.
Actually, I'm just playing. I actually did enjoy it. I was role playing my character. I think more than anybody, I really like.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
I really like I played as like, this is my character. I'm gonna act as my character, right? So I did. I was like a quirky kind of older guy, like short, a rock gnome. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was good. Like we went in a good direction, and I feel like we got a lot done. It kept the pace going, and I like that pace. And I hope that we can keep like a similar pace. Like, hey, this is where we need to go. And I hope it doesn't get too much of like, well, I'm going into here, and then that shop, and then the tailor, and then this shop, and then yeah, I'm gonna attack this, and I'm gonna do this, and it's playing a different type of play style. Like, even if you watch me play like Kingdom Come, the way I play games is just I'm like, someone will talk like shit to me as I walk by, and I'll turn around. I'll just kill them because I'm like, oh, excuse me, because it's a video game, right? And I can do that in video games. Obviously not in real life, but in a video game, yeah. Like I'm like, you know what, like. Like you said, what?
Oh, yeah.
But no, like I'm playing a different type of character because even in Joe's campaign, I kind of, got a little bloodthirsty there.
A little mad squirrel, yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it kept at a good pace. It kept, moving. It was cool. I stayed focused the whole time. I didn't have anything on any other screens.
Yes.
I sat and I watched and. Gave my input, and I've never played a character that's really like the party leader, right? That's gonna be like, hey, let's go, da da da.
And being the, what are you, barbarian?
Yeah.
Yeah, so being a frontline person.
Yep.
Too.
So I'm a frontline, but
different.
I'm not a leader. I'm not the one who's like, let's go.
No, but that's different.
But yes,
though.
I'm not. I'm typically not a frontline person. I'm more of like a stay back, hit from afar. But it was good, man. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
Well, that's good. So I appreciate that because there's a lot more coming. There's a lot more to the story. It's going to be a while that we play this, but it's very I did like the pacing, but it's one of those things where like I was so nervous where you almost had that and you get it too. It's just like the block, like a second, like you almost don't even want to do it because like you don't know what to do, or there's just so much, so you just kind of freeze. Like a lot of people look at these and they're like, oh, look at this story, like I'm gonna read it 10 times through and I'm gonna really understand everything. I'm like, I can't even bring myself to read it because I'm like, I this is the first session. This is something that may go on for the next few years. Like I can't. I like mentally block myself from doing any more work on it because it is what it is. And then when we were going through the fight, I mentioned this after we were done. If you plug, because on D&D Beyond you can plug in like I can pull you guys to an encounter because I have all your information. I can pull all that in there, and then I can pick, because it's a book or a module through them. I can grab the actual character, put him in, and it was Cephik, and I could pull him in and it was just a fight of him, and I put it. It was a deadly encounter. Like you guys should have died.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how the fuck? Because you're so
because you rolled terribly. Like,
yeah, no, and that's
I don't know, but some of my character, I rolled crit. I was like, holy smokes, I'm hitting everything.
Like you guys beat him. It's like 6 or 7. It was like 6 rounds. Then he was dead, and I'm like, holy fuck! Because when you walk in and the guy's got, I think he had like 80 hit points, and he hit like a dump truck. I mean, if he connected with anybody, it was 9 to 12 hit points damage, which is basically
as a level
all
1 character is you only have points. 8 to 12.
So it's literally a 1-hit kill if I hit. And I'm like, this is a fucking deadly encounter. Like, I'm trying to think of other ways to make sure like you guys aren't dead the first round. But then I did preface, like, and Joe was like, hey, you know, with this campaign, I know you want to play it more true. He's like, hey, if they die, they die. Like, if you have to get that, you have to keep that in mind, that like, obviously make it fun, give them every opportunity, but at the same time, like, don't get too attached to your people, because you could die. Like, that's part of this game.
If they roll bad, like.
But then you guys beat it so quickly.
You know, it's funny though. It's funny because you say like you were nervous and stuff like that, and this brings me back. And you know, it's really. Let me preface this though. It's really weird, like when certain things happen or someone says something, like the things that you remember, right? Because, and it's just random. Like I remember random points in my life that I'm sure, like I remember a conversation you and I had about something, and you're probably like, you probably don't even remember, but to me it like weighed heavy on me and it bugged me, right? And it's little things. It's like, oh, I remember I said this to this person one time, and it's like that was 7 years ago. They don't think about it. They probably have never thought about it after that point. But yeah, so that prefaces. So that being prefaced, it reminded me. You just said that. It reminded me of the first time that I was running a campaign and I was doing like a homebrew, and I stopped running the campaign because I had some life stuff go on, you know, and all this stuff happened, and I just stopped writing. I lost like motivation for it essentially, and just didn't want to do it at the time. But I was running a campaign and I wrote my own story, and I was super excited. I got the maps ready, I got everything ready, and I was going through it, and I was like nervous. I was so nervous the first time. I was like, I'm like, but wait, these are my friends. Like these are my friends. It should be good, right? And so like I kept going, and I was just like, all right, guys, like I just want you to know, like this isn't out of a book. This is my first time doing it, so there are going to be bumps in the road, and like. I remember this, like I said, you turn around in the chat and you're like, dude, just shut up and get going already. Like, just start. And I was just like, let me just get it out, man. Like, I was like, oh, man. Like, I didn't say that, but in my head I did. But yeah, you were literally just like, dude, just like, we get it. Start the story.
This
like,
is totally fabricated.
It is not.
It's totally 100%. Fabricated. I don't remember saying that.
Dude, and there's like little things that are like imprinted and burned into my memory. And I remember I was looking at the map of you guys starting in the jail, and I was just like, guys, I just want you to remember, like, this is like, I'm writing this story. Like, there's nothing like, this is all from me. Nothing. And you're like, dude, come on, like, enough. We get it. Just go. 100%. So when you were just like,
I would never act that way to my
when
best
you
friend.
say I was so nervous, when you said that, and I really just wanted to be like, dude, shut up and go already. But I didn't.
But see, that's the thing. I would have took it as complete blasphemy because I don't remember ever saying that.
You don't remember that, but I'm telling you, I remember.
But see,
like, it's there.
But if you did that, then I would have been like, wow, Ben's a prick. And then I would have just immediately been like, all right, fucker.
See, and I didn't. I took that as like
I'm glad you're the frontline guy. Let's go. You're taking the first hit.
No, and
I think you did.
No, and I took that as like when you said that, I was like, all right, fine. Like, okay, we're going to go. And then I went, right? But like, yeah, when you were saying that, it's funny because like I said, that moment is imprinted. It'll never leave my memory. It's up here forever.
Well, and part of it too is like, now that I've done it, because I'm going to work on it tonight too. I got to work on it a little bit tonight and tomorrow night, but it's, yeah, I mean, for me, it's now that I've done it it's like, okay, kind of understand how people play. We get it. I can go a lot more into the story. And, like, just seeing how things, the dialogue and how things play and stuff. Because before, when we would do, like, when I did DM, I do one-shots. So it was like, here's your quest for the day. Like, it was such more of a video game style where, like, you guys plug in. All right, this is what you got to do. Here's the objectives. Go get it. But here, you're actually trying to tell a story. And I do want it to be more role play. So I want you guys to, like, and there was a little struggle in the beginning. Like,
yeah,
because there's a lot of where, like, I just step out and I go, okay, what do you want to do? And I just let you guys talk. And it's funny, and I hope I'm sure this will increase, but it was like, you guys want to do this? Yeah. Like, I mean, it's awkward silence, and I'm like, nah, fuckers, like, just, like, decide. You guys are just figuring out everybody for the first time. You got to feel each other out, get personalities in there. You know, it's not Ben that's behind No Name. It's No Name. You know?
Also, still, guys, No Name is my character's name right now. We're still waiting.
We're gonna do it.
Let us know
he'll
in
have
the comments.
He'll have a down episode where, like, you're really depressed, and then you'll tell us your true name.
Something like that. But you guys got to let me know the name in the comments. Come up with a funny name, cool name, lame name, whatever name. Throw a name in the comments, guys. Because my character's name is No Name. Nobody knows my name right now. I don't even know my name, like, in real life.
Yep.
But nobody knows my character's name right now.
You just go by No Name.
So everyone's just like, yo, No Name. And I respond to it because...
But, again, that's where I want us to get, though. I want you guys kind of, like... And
I
there was a little bit of more discussion, and I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah. They're like, I want you guys to figure it out, but that's also the whole crux of being a DM is, like, you want it to play out the way you want it to play out. But then you guys would be like, nah, let's fucking go this way. And
but honestly, though, yeah, like, looking at it, too, though, I'm happy with the way I roleplayed my character. Like I said, I think I roleplayed my character
did good. It's just that
more
I want the banter. I want you guys to really, like, immerse yourselves in, like, you are a known barbarian. You are No Name. I want you to, like, forget Ben Midi-80 for a little bit.
Nah, dude, I'm No Name Midi-80. I'm No Name 80.
No, I want you to be
no.
Well, no, throw that into your name.
No Midi-80.
Just 80. But yeah, no, that's but yeah, no, it's going really well, and I'm excited. This week is my next one, so yeah, take a couple weeks off. We run the other one, our old one.
Kind of makes me want to, like, get back in there and write a story, and then we could do, like, one every week.
Exactly. Like
I said, I think it would be a cool idea if we just had a new DM every week, and you just pick up where the story left off, and it doesn't. And I know Joe was like, "Oh, but then you see behind the lines." Yeah, but, like, that might not be where your story goes. So we're telling one story.
Oh, you're saying,
but, like,
I don't. Story, but three.
I'm only passing off where I got to. I'm not passing off where I'm going. Right. So, like, that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, like have an overarching theme.
Yes.
And, like, have a goal or whatever, but then you write a quest or something.
Or
that's where you.
Or
take
even if
tonight.
We end in combat, well, then you're picking up where combat left off.
Like, you just give me your notes on.
I'm just like, hey, here's the enemy, here's his health, this is where we're at, and then you take over, and then.
But there's nothing to say that, like.
Where do we go from there?
Say you know the enemies, right?
But then the thing is, all I have is the knowledge of, like, what has happened, right? Because, like, we don't know. Like I said, we won't know where the story's going. We're only sticking to, like, okay, like, this is where you're bringing us this week, and how does that tie into where Joe's going to bring us next week? And then when I take over the following week, where's that going to lead us? I just think, like. And I get that would be kind of complicated. I feel like that would be more of an in-person kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that could be a lot of fun.
But, like, I mean,
and I feel like everyone's just putting too much, like.
Because, you know, when he says, like, looking behind the lines and you see, like, you know the enemies, you know how many hit points, you know what they're weak against, whatever. But there's nothing to say that, like, if I take over yours, there's nothing to say, like, he takes this weird vial potion or this real vial of something, drinks it, and he transforms into a completely different beast, looks way more yoked, and now all of his status and everything that you thought you knew or that you had, it's all different now.
Or, like, say,
and
like,
now it's a different battle.
Say, like, for example, we're heading to turn in a quest, and, like, we make it there, right, to turn in the quest, and we walk into the bar, and oh shoot, like, we're done for the night, like, you know, we don't got time to turn it in, and I turn it over to you, and we just finished the quest, and we walk in the bar, and then you take it over, and you're like, you walk in the bar, it's not the bar anymore, right? Like,
Yeah.
whoa, something happened.
Yeah,
right?
you could just
or
change
and
the
then
whole thing.
and then Joe takes it over and was like, yeah, now you find yourself in the dungeon because
Yeah.
da-da-da. And I just think that would be like
It
so
would
fun
be really
because you
fun.
would get a lot of different perspectives, and it's not necessarily you have to know where we're going. You just only
No,
know
it's just
where we've
more of-
been, and
yes.
like you dictate what we do next. You write that next little part of the
Yeah.
story that we get through.
I would say it would be nice to have.
Like, hey, we got to go find out the lost
Well,
treasure of.
it would be, yeah, like, well, I'm just saying, like, and if you did say in 1 year time, it is the convergence of something, and we need to get ready for that. But then when it comes to, like, that's it, though. Like, that's it. We just know in 1 year time. So then we know there's this over thing, whatever, but, like, as far as all the world goes, like, we can all kind of discuss what we want the world to be about. Like, you know, there's dragons, there's
But the
things,
thing,
there's goblins, and all these things going on. But then it's just like, yeah, but you just write whatever you want to
But
write.
that's the thing. I don't want restrictions of like there's only dragons and goblins here. It's whatever your mind takes you, right?
Okay.
Like I said, like yes, maybe we have
I just
like
don't want it to
we need to
be
find
like-
the treasure of.
I just don't want it to be like hard. I mean, and this is part of probably what you're saying. But again, like as far as worlds go, like I want to have a decent structure of it because I don't want it to be like, this is an example, but like you go into this hardcore like death dragon den or whatever, and then the next episode you're in fucking Lollipop Land. You know, like.
But maybe
Again, to your point, that
you
would
wanted
be kind of fun.
Lollipop Land.
It's like if you took all of Joe's holiday episodes.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
that's
mashed
what it
them
is.
into
Like
one.
we're trying to complete his thing, and then all of a sudden it was fucking 420. I just remember the 420 one.
Dude,
Just this,
but mine is
mist,
the
this
poultry
skunky
guys.
mist rolls in, and you all pass out. And then we played in a dream, and like Snoop Dogg was like one of the monsters,
Or the
but
poultry geist for Thanksgiving.
Yes, the poultry
killer
guys.
turkey.
Yep. Then or we fought the leprechaun for last
St.
year
Patty's.
for St. Patty's Day. So like, that's fun, you know. But again, it's like if you took all of those, like that's what they are, you know. And
But I guess like you could look at it as like a series of one shots where you know everything. But I mean like we're continuing a story from where the last person left off. So it's like what's like popcorn or whatever, where like someone like you're like, hey Jimmy, you're reading today, and you're reading, you're like, stop, all right, Tommy, you're up, all right, Evelyn, you read, you know, and you pass it around.
or like chain reaction, where like you got to pick up like the last word,
and that's what
and
I'm
then you
thinking.
gotta
Like
run with
if we did like a D&D campaign with, like I said, just a skeletal. This is the overarching. We want to find King Solomon's lost treasure that was stolen by bandits who wore green and pink masks, and you know whatever. And that's all we know. That's all we know.
Yep.
And then I start with, all right, you guys are in the castle. Like, what do you want to do?
Because the other thing too, and like this is getting more meta about it, is say you put a little nugget in on your whatever you chose to do. You just decide at the end of yours that you want to give a little piece of information to some that you gotta go find. Now, I could either continue on that, and it could ruin whatever you had planned. But if you could hide it, then the next time you DM 3 times from now, you can be like, remember that fight against whatever, and you'd be like, well, remember he said this. You remember that?
Be like,
you
hey,
roll to see
now,
who remembers.
Or exactly right. Like I give a little piece of thing, and then you're like, oh. You know, maybe on your DMing, it's like a fire burned your bag. You no longer have that note.
Mm-hmm.
Like what, going off memory. So then now when it comes back to me, and I think the coolest thing about that is it would help whoever's DMing to react on the fly. Like you got to be like, okay, hang on. Shoot, I got to remember now because we got this note in the first session. Second session, huge fire burned. Now it's Joe's turn. What are we going to do? We just burned all the information we had. I need to be like, shoot, I remember there was a guy at the clock tower. We got to go find a clock tower. We end up in a city. Well, guess what? This clock tower's been shut down for years. There's no one running it. You must be talking about the other city, right? And it's like, then you start you build
like
the world
you can playfully fuck with other people's stories,
yes.
but
like and that's what, and I know, like I remember Jack was saying something along the lines of like, well, then you'll kill da da da. Well, then you got to react to that. You got to be like, okay, as me as the DM now, like so and so's dead. Like, where do we go? Like,
he's got a twin brother.
We have a huge funeral. Or guess what? Now you're stuck in an infinite loop where every time you try to leave the shop, you're stuck in the shop, right? Like, you
something
can't,
stupid. Oh my god!
Right? Like, how are you gonna get out of the shop, right? Until you work your dead off, kind of thing, because you just killed him, and we know. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, how can we like think quick. And I just think that would be such a like cool idea, and it would give
really
everybody a perspective of like DMing and actually running the show and being like, shoot, like hold up, I know this and know this, but now my character that was there is no longer there, right? So
well,
like,
I was just thinking that.
So
and
like,
I'm like, well, there's two ways. You could either he just gets erased, like there's some weird, you know, what do they call it? Apparate. There's a weird apparition that happens every time it's your time to be DM, or you get to play your character as the DM as well. So like he just becomes an NPC.
right?
That
Who's
you're
just
playing
like,
with.
hey, I need to stay back and clean the shop. Sorry guys, like,
Well, no, that or you can bring them with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fight.
Because then you still get to play and attack and do the thing.
And I just think that would be such a cool idea just to try.
Yeah.
And like I'm 100% game to play a character and DM on that. But like I said, I gotta sell it.
Well, I'm sold, baby.
Oh hell yeah! All right, we gotta sit Joe down. Anyways, oh shoot, dude, look at the time, dude. Oh man, this is a long episode. All right.
Oh yeah.
We gotta wrap it up.
Saying we're gonna keep them to 45.
Yeah, dude, we doubled that time,
hour,
dude.
Yeah, hour or something. But
we
appreciate you guys listening to us.
Up,
I mean,
man.
we're just kind of rambling, but it's a fun time.
Anyways, let us know what you guys think about that D&D.
Yeah,
If you were running one story with multiple DMs, but you were players as well, kind of. What do you guys think? Like, would it be chaotic? And don't forget, name my character, guys. His name is no name. We need a real name.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, big shout out, Shane Gillis. Always shout out Shane Gillis.
2 Bears, 1 Cave.
2 Bears, 1 Cave. Joe Rogan.
Had a very funny episode that came out. Joe Rogan. Hell
Mark
yeah.
Norman. I think that guy's
Mark
hilarious.
Norman's really
Oh my
funny.
god, dude.
I know it's just that crew, but we're just gonna keep. We're
gonna keep saying it until
We're gonna keep
somebody
plugging them.
notices us. We're gonna start I'm dropping the hashtags.
Yeah, you just gotta stop.
Yeah,
That's
a
fine.
cease and desist. Oh, I gotta take it down.
That's fine. It's fine.
But they contacted us. That'd be
amazing.
cool. Anyways, yeah, dude. You got any pieces of advice or words of
I
wisdom,
forgot we were doing this.
or just drop something for everyone to just kind of live a better life off of?
Let's see. I don't know if I've said this before though. Maybe you tell me if I'm okay.
All right.
I think
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think about I in part of that like motivation keeping me going and stuff, and like and I don't suffer from this, and I'm not trying to downplay anybody else who does, but anybody who suffers from, I did have anxiety and things like that, and I get a little bit every once in a while, but like depression, things like that, when people are really down on themselves and not like don't think they're enough and all this stuff. I think of the Neil deGrasse Tyson video where he talks about just the probability is so profound that you even exist, that you just being here in general, you're special. You made it. I mean, we joke about, your dad and all the seed he has, and you're the one that made it. I mean, there was thousands, millions of other ones that could have happened, and it timed up just right, and you're here, and we're here. And that itself is so unbelievably special that even if you didn't do anything in this life, you got to live to do nothing. Mm-hmm. There's ones that don't get to exist. So the fact that we exist and we're all going to die and we're all going to, whatever you believe in and where you're going and all that stuff, that's great. But we get to actually live that. And so whenever somebody says like, it's probably best if I'm not here, it's like, no. It was willed that you made it.
You're supposed to be here.
You're supposed to be here.
Like
there's no.
won the battle.
You did. And regardless of the upcoming, regardless of whatever happens in your life and stuff, like, at least you're here to live it, because this is it. Like, after this, there's nothing. I mean, and that's I'm saying, like, what you think in this brain, maybe we get reincarnated into an isekai. That'd be my ultimate dream. But, who knows? Who knows what really happens? But that next one or whatever, if something lives on, that's great. But it's so special that it's so, like, when he breaks down the math of it, it's insane.
Astronomical.
It's almost like if you were to go grab the grain of sand off of, like, a fucking island, that's you. And, like, you just went to a bunch of islands, you picked one. Those are all the people that exist in the world. And then you think of all that could have been or that aren't. That's insane. It's such a powerful, like, you know what? You're right. Maybe I'm tired today. Maybe the kids are, being a mess. Maybe,
Maybe today just
Maybe
wasn't your day.
Yeah, maybe I'm just fucking mad today.
Maybe
But
it
at
just
least I'm
wasn't
alive to
today.
just be
But
mad.
hey, come back tomorrow, guys. You matter.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So
You
that's
matter.
the
Cheers
one
to
I
that,
have.
dude. I'll drink to that.
Hell
Yeah. Let's get it.
For sure.
For sure, guys. Well, hey,
Thank you.
you matter.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Yeah.